Good morning. The Mahoney County Board of Elections is holding a regular special meeting of the members of the board on May 26th at 10 a.m. With the director call the roll.
Ms. Pesta?
Here.
Attorney Beatrice?
Here.
Ms. Barger?
Here.
Mr. Rogers?
Here.
The purpose of this meeting is, let's start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can we have a moment of silence for our nation? Can we have a motion to approve the minutes for the May 2nd, May 3rd, 2022 adjourned regular board meeting?
I'll make the motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Would the director call the roll, please?
Ms. Pesta?
Yes.
Attorney Beatrice?
Yes.
Ms. Barger?
Yes.
Mr. Rogers?
Yes.
Okay, we want to approve the bills and accounts of payments for the months of April and May 2022. Do we have a motion for that?
So moved.
I'll
Is there-
second.
Is there any discussion? Would the director call the roll, please?
Ms. Pesta?
Yes.
Attorney Beatrice?
Yes.
Ms. Barger?
Yes.
Mr. Rogers?
Yes.
All right, the board will determine the validity of the provisionals, late arriving and overseas ballots cast on the May 3rd primary election. I will direct the staff to open and count and add I want a motion for us to direct the staff to open, count, and add the board verified valid provisional ballots cast on May 3rd, 2022 primary to the unofficial vote totals and return with a report of a final canvass result. Is there a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Would the director call the roll?
Ms. Pesta?
Yes.
Attorney Beatrice?
Yes.
Ms. Barger?
Yes.
Mr. Rogers?
Yes.
All right.
All right, the first stack are all valid ballots. These are the late arriving absentees. They were postmarked by the deadline of midnight on May 2nd. And then we have 3 curbside votes that we need in voter intent that came from the polls that was on after election night, and they're all valid.
So we're going to go ahead and open and count those.
Correct.
Okay.
These are all, I'll go through one by one. These are absentee ballots that were marked late. They were received after the postmark date that you cannot count. There's 23 of those.
Can I see this
Oh, yeah,
one?
yeah, I'm sorry. Joyce, we can take these as a group, right?
Correct.
When was election day? Okay, I'm just double checking.
Special rate checks.
What's this one that says May 3rd, late mail?
We came in late, and
Where's the postmark?
on the back, that's one of the ones.
Was that hand delivered?
No, it wasn't hand delivered. It came through the mail,
But they stamped it with it.
but they stamped. It wasn't a stamp on there, so we had used a scanner to find out what they were taking in. And
You mean
use
the
it by
scanner
bar.
here at the bottom?
Yeah, for the bar,
Okay, so we have a scanner that'll tell us
yes.
okay. And that's the same thing with this one, we use the scanner?
Yes.
Now, up on the top there, it says May 3rd.
And it's late. May 2nd.
I
It's
just
last.
asked you when election day was, you said May 3rd.
Yeah,
Yes.
May 3rd is election day, but May 2nd is the deadline.
Oh, they can't be marked May 3rd?
Right.
Correct. It has to be midnight on May 2nd.
Okay,
Didn't ask me.
all right.
That actually gets confusing.
It is very confusing.
It seems to me that if they
Right.
get it in on an election day.
You would think.
You would think, right? I mean, these are all May 3rd, which was election day, but we can't count them because,
They're due to be mailed the day before.
Yeah.
And May 3rd at midnight would be after the election anyway.
does this, do we scan these May 3rd ones to just double check them?
Yes,
Okay. I hate disenfranchising voters, I just personally am an abhorrence to it, but the law is the law that we're sworn to uphold.
Second stack.
All right,
is-
do we have a motion to,
Do them by stack.
yeah, let's do them by stack. Do we have a motion to invalidate those 23 absentee ballots that were not received by the Board of Election on time?
I'll make them. Go ahead, Judge.
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll make a second.
Would the director call the roll?
Ms. Pesta?
Yes.
Attorney Beatrice?
Yes.
Ms. Barger?
Yes.
Mr. Arant?
Yes.
The next stack is 34 ballots refused. These are all nursing homes. That when we got the nursing homes, the residents decided they don't want voters on that day. Is that correct?
correct.
What does that mean, they don't want to vote on that
They
day?
sign up to vote with an application, but then when the ballot gets there, they don't want to vote it.
So none of these are voted?
No,
All blank ballots.
They're all blank ballots?
yes,
And someone went through and checked all that?
yes.
Okay, so let's take a motion that, I'm not gonna look, but I'm just trusting the staff that someone went through every one of these ballots and they're all blank.
Yeah.
That we, well, how do we count? I don't even think we need a motion for an unvoted ballot. I mean,
No, probably not.
they're not voted.
Just blank.
The next stack of 13, they came back, we sent them in the mail, they came back as undeliverable mail to us. The staff tried to contact every voter that was sent, and you did get hold of quite a few of them, right?
Right.
But these 13 we did not.
Correct.
All right, so these 13, I'll entertain a motion that they not be counted as coming back as bad mail.
So these were sent because they were requested, correct?
Right.
Sent to an address. The address says
Yeah, but if you,
forward time expired, return
Right.
to sender. So
But
they
they-
then called the people and they couldn't get a hold of these
Okay.
13.
Some of them said they were gonna go to the polls, and they're
Oh,
gonna
okay,
vote, you know,
okay.
a provisional ballot.
But these 13, you couldn't get a hold of?
Some of them we did, but their ballot is still unaccountable. So some of them went to the polls to vote a provisional ballots, and other ones we just couldn't get in touch with.
All right,
We sent
so,
them letters, you know, we called.
so we need a motion to not count these ballots that are well, these aren't voted ballots anyhow, so
No.
I don't think we need a
Just
motion for
mail,
those.
Yeah, just return mail.
I don't think we need a motion for any absentees. Absentees get for the official countings on it.
Done it both ways.
You've done it both ways.
These 6 voters voted their ballots, and between the time they voted and election day, they passed away. So there's 6 deceased voters there.
Yeah, we can't count those. We'll take a motion to not count these deceased voters.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Count this.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye, okay.
These 2 came back with a no ID envelope, so there's no signature that we could verify who they were. Is that correct?
Right, and 11S form was sent.
The 11S, so we did send a form out to them, they weren't returned. The 11S form is where
They have so many days to come in.
they have so many days to come and return the form to us so we can verify that that's their absentee.
So these 2. They have their return address and everything on top.
What we're looking for is the ID envelope.
No, I know that. So I'll take a motion that the no ID envelopes not be counted. Is there such a motion?
I make the motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Next.
These came back with no signatures on the ID envelopes. and so they can't be counted. There's that one at the bottom with power of attorney, I'd like to explain that.
Okay, the power of attorney signed instead of the voter signed.
What's the law on that?
Well, we didn't have any power of attorney forms from Secretary of State, so we called that individual, sent the forms, they said they would sign the forms and get it notarized, but we never received it back.
A regular power of attorney is different than a board of elections power of attorney. They don't have one about.
So someone not signing is a fatal flaw? Huh?
Yes.
Yes, because we can't verify it, correct?
Oh, putting in their social security number. It can't get any clearer, my God. Take a motion and validate these people that didn't sign their ID forms. There's 8 of them, is there a motion?
There's a motion.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? There you go, Tom. That one.
And then these two are, the signature does not match from the registration form,
Who made that determination?
the staff.
Is this something we want to review ourselves?
I would think so.
So they copied the card
Right.
and attached
Yeah,
it
we-
here, so
we-
we can see that
Yeah,
it doesn't match.
We copied the original registration card, so the board can determine what they think on those two.
Anyone call them?
Yes, and
And
we sent a new registration card, and we never received it back.
Well, I would say that we did our due diligence.
yeah,
You know, so we tried it, so they can
That-
update
that-
the
that-
signature.
but my signature.
Well, he
Yeah.
signed it. It's wrong, isn't it?
No, first of all, he didn't sign.
It's that wrong.
It's Ronald. Who
Yeah,
knows?
that's his husband probably.
Husband, probably, and then
This one's not even close.
that one's not even close. And we contacted them to sign a new registration card and they never mailed it in.
Correct.
I
And we've
don't-
had other ones that they do.
They do,
Yeah,
yeah.
they do, yeah.
This isn't even a signature, this is a printed signature, which I think they have to sign it, right?
Signage.
Even though they're not teaching children nowadays cursive writing, so I don't know what we're gonna do. And
I'll be gone.
if you think about that, they're not even teaching cursive writing anymore, so everyone's signature will be their printed signature. I mean, that has to be brought up at your thing, or whatever. Are you still on that?
Yeah, I'm still on that thing, yes.
No, I mean, I'm serious, that's something that's,
So, a lot of other
Well,
fishes
I
to
think-
fry, believe me.
I think however you sign it, whether you,
no,
However you sign your registration is your signature.
correct.
nope. A guy came in here, remember?
Yeah.
Remember, a guy came in here and the Secretary of State ruled and
Oh,
invalidated
yeah.
his petitions.
Yeah, I remember.
Okay, are we gonna,
Except for the absentees.
the signatures not match?
Yeah, they grabbed
Okay.
this.
So can I make a motion to validate the provisionals you've already checked on?
Yeah,
Because we should get going on
Just
those.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
All right, so Joyce has made a motion to count the valid provisional ballots. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. All right, the invalid ballots, can I ask what's wrong with the invalid ballots?
There's about 12 different cases that we have to go through on provisionals, and different reasons why they are.
Yeah, I'd like to do that if we're discounting someone's vote,
Yeah.
okay?
Well, you go over there, right, the board determination, so these can go. No, you're.
No, we valid, those are
We-
the valid ones, they can go. And
Hey, Brian, you would take that back to the roll? One provisional, no ID, and what's not?
A lot of time. They never came in.
Because we give them 10 days to come in.
No ID meaning they didn't show a utility bill, nothing?
Nothing.
They have 10 days to rectify.
No, I know that.
Boards and they never.
So do we need a motion, or we just don't count that? Joyce, how do we do that?
I think what we do is we should go through them and invalidate them all at the end. Just invalidate all the ones that we've gone through, unless you want to do it case by case. You can do it either way.
Well, when we're invalidating votes, I want the board to vote on it.
Okay.
So let's just, how many of these are there?
Just one.
Just one.
No, I mean,
Just
how
one
many
level.
different kinds?
12.
12?
53 altogether.
But 12 different reasons?
Yes.
Let's go through them all. All right, no ID in the allotted time, a motion not to count this ballot.
So moved.
Second? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
System.
Not counted.
Then we have 4 deleted voters.
Okay, deleted voters mean they're re-registered to vote now, though, correct? Why were they deleted? Because they had voted in 2 presidential elections?
A period between 4 and 6 years, usually it's closer to 6 years, they get the 2 notifications. So there's been no activity for all that time. Now they are registered again.
Okay. Is there a motion for someone that was deleted, and we deleted it per the Ohio Secretary of State's guidelines and Ohio law?
Correct.
Is there a motion to not count these ballots?
I'll make a motion not to count these ballots.
Is there a second? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
We have one that voted, but they moved from out of state. They came into Ohio, filled out the vote. They are now registered, but we can't count it because they weren't registered in Ohio.
Oh, okay.
Wait a minute, they moved in from out of state into Ohio.
Correct, correct.
You said they moved out of state.
So, yeah, they moved.
Out of their state.
Yeah. Out of their state.
Okay, but this person is now registered to vote.
Correct.
All right, we move that the person that moved from out of state, in state, but didn't register in time, not be counted. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
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 This is, they voted provisional, but the voter dropped their ballot into the voting machine, not into the envelope. It would have been good regardless, right?
Correct.
Correct.
What does that mean?
The ballot's been counted already at the polling location, so
We really don't have to
they
do
didn't
anything
follow
with it.
instructions, right? The poll worker said no ballot in envelope, the voter put the ballot in the DS 200.
So there's no ballot in there.
But it would have been a legal vote anyway.
It would have been a legal vote anyhow.
All right, so we don't need to do anything on that. There's no ballot there to count.
This one's no signature on
On the what?
Envelope,
the,
right.
then we tried to contact them, and they had 10 days to come in too. Yeah.
When we try to contact them, do we just leave a message, or what do we do?
We leave a message if we don't get in contact with them. And the same day, if I don't speak to a person, I'll send them a letter.
I mean,
Also, was there a provisional worker at that location? So that provisional worker should have caught that. So I think you need to tell whoever powers to be who that was.
okay, no signature on a provisional ballot. We have a motion not to count it.
Make a motion not to count it.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
We have 34, they just weren't registered at all, but they are now.
Move that we not count these 34 people that were not registered.
Were they never registered or just
Never.
never registered? But it was voting day.
No.
Make a motion
Who's
not to
election?
count them.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, okay. If they're all registered now, and we let them know they're registered to vote now?
Yes.
Okay.
We have 5, they voted twice, they voted by absentee, then showed up at the polling location.
I can see that happening, honestly.
all the time.
It happens all the
And we
time.
catch it. And we do catch it, so I don't know if the board needs to act on that or not.
No, let me see. I mean,
We don't want to avoid them to get their first ballot vote counted.
yeah, we have to avoid these.
Yeah.
But wait, we didn't count these, right?
No, we didn't
No.
count those.
But we're not going to.
1936. This guy's my age.
Well, go figure.
I could see
You're not getting
people,
any younger
I could see people making this mistake though.
all the time, especially older people.
Yeah,
Yeah, they forget sometimes.
so,
I forget.
so we counted their ballot at the thing and we just didn't count this.
Yeah, we counted absentee ballot, we're just not gonna count their election day ballots, and that happens.
So how did we catch that they had already voted when we fed it into the machine?
Well,
Chris puts the votes in the machine from the polls, and then
Okay, so when they show up, the poll worker says you already voted, and we let them vote provisionally just to
Just in
review it.
case.
Okay,
and they're allowed to. Ohio law says if the voter's unsure their vote's gonna be counted, they can go to the polling location and vote provisional.
okay. All right, so the 5 people that voted twice, is there a motion to not count those provisional votes?
I'll make a motion not to count those
Is there a
five.
second?
second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We have one, hey, one quick question. We did check that she's not on North End, though, right?
Right.
They voted in the wrong county. And did we contact Trumbull County?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. North End was one, but
It's Liberty.
And they do have, you know, what's weird is they do have a Youngstown.
Well, I know that screws everything up, 44505.
But they live in Trumbull County.
Yeah.
That's not, you know, I could see this happening.
Oh, it's right on the border.
All right, voted in wrong county, I'll entertain a motion not to count that vote.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
we have 5 that voted in the wrong precinct and the wrong polling location.
Wrong
That's
church, wrong
wrong.
pew.
All right, is there a motion
I'll
for
make a
people?
motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
What else?
I'll be through here now.
Are we letting them know that where they have to go vote
Yes.
correctly?
Usually they're told where to vote that day. The poll workers do inform them you're in the wrong polling location, and a lot of voters refuse to go elsewhere.
Yeah, that happened.
Do they tell them that their vote will count?
They
if
give them directions,
Yeah, it will not count.
print out directions for them.
This is one of those APRI voters.
What-
They
what-
were,
They were taking off the rolls, but,
they're not to come back in.
right.
It says section 8.06, the individual voter's registration was canceled in 2011, 2013, 2015, or 2019 may be counted, but they didn't vote in any of those years.
No, but that court case says we count those now.
So now we count this
Now
ballot.
we count this ballot.
You don't
So
remember.
should
Board
be,
needs review on it. I mean, it's a board review one.
yeah, it does look right.
Yep.
I make a motion, we count this API vote. Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, count that one.
Then we have one,
I said I have thermal.
we have 5, we consider poll worker error. They voted in the wrong precinct, but they were in the correct polling location. And I think it's incumbent on our precinct officials to get them into the right precinct because they showed up where they were supposed to. And so they voted in the wrong precinct,
Is
but
the ballot, right location,
right location,
and the ballot's the
the
same.
ballot's the same.
Except for precinct committee person.
Correct. And so we remake those without the precinct committee person.
I make a motion, we count these, leaving off the precinct committee
Do you guys
person from either
understand what
party.
happened here?
So they went to the wrong polling location?
No, they went to the
Right.
right polling
Polling,
location,
okay.
but the poll worker sent them to the wrong precinct.
Oh, okay, I understand.
So it'd be the
Okay.
same ballot,
Right.
except
Except
for
the
precinct
precinct's
committee
wrong.
person.
Right.
Doesn't the machine send them where they weren't supposed to go?
No, because it's any machine anywhere in all the locations, so you can drop it down any DS200. But yeah, when you check in, it tells you, let's say go to Canfield 3, go to Canfield 2, it should be caught there too.
Yeah.
And it just wasn't, so.
It's our error.
It's our error.
That's a poll.
That's not too bad for a lot of votes to make 5 mistakes. You're gonna have human error.
They're not.
Is this all from the same location?
No.
Okay.
All different locations.
So Joyce made a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Is there any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Right, now what?
Mr. McKay?
Number 8, we need to drop down until after, at 4 o'clock meeting. We need to identify the mandatory necessary recount races.
Do we have any ties?
We have 2 ties in Republican precinct 3 races.
What a shame that is.
And I know. It is what it is.
It is what it
So are they
is.
gonna be here for the coin toss?
Danny tried to contact them. They may or may not.
What do we do if they're not here?
We still flip the coin. In the past, what we've done, we've had the vice chair assign the heads or tails, and then the chair flips the coin.
It's on us.
Okay.
Good thing you're gonna get blamed for it.
Make note
Yeah,
of
but
that.
the Republican precinct committee.
Make note of that, Ian.
All right, go ahead, Tom.
And so at that point, we flip the coin, then we certify a winner even on a tie.
Okay.
It sounds odd, but that's how it's done. Then we set the recount and audit, and we'll recount those 2 races
Okay.
at that point.
All right, so we're gonna recess until, yes,
Well, we all have a meeting tonight at 6. Can we go through the chairman's, directors, and unfinished business, or you want to wait on those?
well, the chairman's report, the only thing I wanna know is how's our educational program coming?
Which part? You
Well-
mean for the outreach?
Yes,
Oh, so we met with the League of Women Voters, and they're gonna set up some library, we're gonna work in conjunction with the libraries and do videos and talks at all the libraries, and we're gonna do that with the League of Women Voters.
and the schools,
So that was the kids' vote, they don't actually go into the schools, so.
we said we would.
Yeah, so we haven't done anything with it yet between the 2 primaries, we've been busy with that, but we're looking at going in the fall, particularly for voter registration.
And what about civic organizations? Have we reached out to them? Rotary, all of them, they're always looking for speakers.
We have not yet.
We should do that. It's a priority of mine, if you don't mind. Because I think voting has been attacked, and we need to educate people how the voting is done so they have faith in the voting system, at least here in Ohio.
So we do have a meeting, also Chairman Senna Casey will be back on June 6th to start our social media. Did you know she's shot some footage? So we're gonna be doing that at the same time as we do the education and outreach.
Okay.
May I say something about the League of Women Voters in conjunction with them? I'm a member of the League of Women Voters, but the League of Women Voters is sometimes in conflict with the Secretary of State in the state of Ohio. We as a board represent the Secretary of State in the state of Ohio. If that conflict would arise in coming elections and we're involved with them as a board, do you see that as a conflict at all?
No, I mean, ours is more of an educational thing. Here's how the voting is done.
But
Here's-
that's their thing too, education. That's the League of Women Voters thing too, is education. But what if there's a lawsuit against this board and the state by the League of Women Voters?
Well, we'll cross that bridge when we get to
All
it.
right, okay.
I mean, right now, I just want
I
to go
just
out into the
think-
public and tell them how from the time they register to they vote, to the election night, to the audit, to the hand recount. and
But why do
everything.
we have to do that with the League of Women
We don't.
Voters?
I
I mean, I'm just saying that it's a possible problem that could arise, because I've seen it arise many times with the League of Women Voters.
Since I've been handed this gavel, I've had one instruction for the director and assistant director, is for us to go out into the highways and byways and talk to people about voting, and I have yet to have a person to talk to yet, or any of us to talk to. There are
Oh,
clubs,
they've been busy.
I understand you're busy.
That'll be our priority too, then.
You know, I bet schools would love to have us in, I bet civic organizations, anyone that's interested in how voting is done. People don't understand how complicated it is, how many checks and balances there are, and I think it's incumbent upon us to educate them about it.
I agree, but I also agree that we have an August election.
I think that we should gear it towards, if you wanted it in the schools, gear it towards September.
I agree.
Not gear it towards now, because they're getting out of school.
No, I agree.
I think we should work with colleges. I went to a couple places. University, at graduation, they let people set up little booths. So I think that if we had a voter registration booth there, Cavelli at their hockey games and all the things that they have down there, they let the veterans go. I thought that we could go with some things, educational things, to do that during the summer.
So just so you know, I mean, we have been working on it, but right now we've been working on the materials that we'll be bringing, because Kids Vote was supposed to do that, and they don't do that.
No.
So we've been working on the materials that we would be bringing, which would be the clips and the speeches and who would go, and what would they say, to make sure that our information is accurate. So we thought the schools in the fall, and we thought the public libraries, and the only thing that the voters would set up a schedule and say, hey, they're interested in having you. We don't talk together.
Okay.
They're just helping us get into those venues, which saves us a little bit of time. So if that's a problem, you can let me know.
Well, it's, no, I have no problem with the League of Women Voters. I'm a member of the League of Women Voters. I believe in what they do, but what they do is education also. They educate the voters, they educate, the things, and
They
do
don't
vote.
run the elections, we do.
I know that,
Because
I'm
she
just
even
saying.
said, when I met with her, she offered to open up some venues for us, and I was very
I
thankful
think
for that,
that's
because
good,
we
yeah.
are busy, like the clubs that you're talking
Right.
about, because they already have all those inroads, and we were pretty busy between the primaries, so that's sort of what that was about.
I would just like to have that done and that program in place, so we have the infrastructure, so every year we can catch new students at the university, new clubs, new everything else. There's so many people that have so many questions about how the process of voting is done, and I want to answer those questions for them.
Well, we would like to go into the schools, back to doing the voters registration drive at the same time as educating, the government classes. We had a couple contacts that talked about giving credit at the college for your, if you're in a political science or a government class, if you come over and work.
They used to do
So,
that.
all that. That's kind of what's on the.
Sarastic left and that sort of fell apart, huh? Yeah, we work with Sarastic on that. I actually work with Benning on it too. And it does work out
It's a
very
great
well.
idea.
It's a really great idea.
And it does give them an idea of how things are done. People don't know.
Right.
People
It's
think
a
that
soundbite.
that their votes go into the internet. People think that we know who votes and how. I mean, the amount of misinformation out there is just so great. So, all right. What else, Tom? Do you have anything?
I do not, but Melissa, do you?
I would like to congratulate the staff on a great election.
Yeah.
It went very smoothly. We had no hiccups. Everything's going smoothly now. I think you both did an excellent job in getting the staff to, coordinate and work with both of you, and I think you've done a tremendous job.
We have a great
And I'm
staff
very,
right now.
yeah, you do have a great staff, but it takes two people to lead that staff, and you did a great job doing that. So, you're
We
welcome.
need to set a date and times for the next special regular meeting to audit the May 3rd primary. Do you have any dates in mind?
It has to be done by a certain date, doesn't it, Annie? Who has the calendar?
Is it June 9th?
No, we haven't even got instructions from the secretary of state
No.
yet on the audit.
Yeah, we'll have to pick one state race, one congressional race, I think, and one local race.
Federal, state, and local. yeah.
Federal, state, and local, yeah, so.
We might-
You have your election calendar? You might want
We'll
to,
do it by the night.
I thought we had set the 4th or
You
something.
guys had the second, which was a little too quick.
I thought it was the 4th we said. Did we set the 4th?
It was-
No, I have a meeting on the 4th, forget that.
No, we said it, we originally talked about Thursday, June 2nd.
We just needed a little bit more time, because with the holiday, that only gave 3 days.
Yeah.
All right, so what date are we looking at then?
I'll be in the pool, actually.
When do we have to have it done by?
9.
Can we do it June 7th? It's Tuesday.
Yeah,
I have no problem.
Sandy, Bob.
I have a medical test at 7:30 in the morning, so.
Well, we're not doing anything at 7:30 in the morning. We're doing it at 5 o'clock in the
Yeah,
morning.
but, I mean, are you
Well, we
gonna
have
be
to-
sick from the test?
Huh?
Are you gonna be sick from the test?
No,
Okay.
no.
So can we do, how long will that audit take? Won't take long, right?
2-3 hours at the most.
So can we convene at at noon and then come back and finish the audit?
Yeah.
Let's do that. Is that good for everyone? Is that good for you, Sandy? Bob, good for you?
Absolutely.
All right, Ann, and you'll remind everyone.
Yes, it's okay with me too.
You're the one who suggested the dates.
No, you did. I did. You said you-
Is this the 7th?
Yeah,
What time?
Noon.
noon, and then we'll come back. Okay, anything for the good of the order or public comments? No one? Okay. The meeting will stand in recess until the staff returns with the official results and count update, and I'll reconvene the meeting at 4 o'clock today.
You're coming on Saturday.
Yes. I thought it was Thursday.
Personality?
Raise your right hand. I say your name.
I, Brian Devine,
Do hereby solemnly swear
do hereby solemnly swear
that I will follow the Constitution of the United States.
that I will follow the Constitution of the United States,
I will follow the Constitution and laws of the state of Ohio.
follow the Constitution of the state of Ohio,
I will follow the directives of the Ohio Secretary of State.
I'll follow the directives of the Ohio Secretary of State.
This I do as I answer to my God or under the penalty of perjury.
This I do as I answer my God with the penalty of perjury.
Congratulations.
So what do you think? You've been here 5 weeks now?
Yeah, pretty good. I like to think about the education thing too, because I'm the president of Berlin Ellsworth, out in Ellsworth.
Oh, my God, you
And
know my
my son
ex-husband.
just registered them both this year, so it's kind of, they don't teach them very much.
I reconstitute the meeting of the Mahoney County Board of Elections from this morning to report our official results. I'm going to turn it over to the chairman. Do we have any ties that we need to resolve?
We do, in front of you, there's a sheet, we have 3 ties, and the Republican member of the County Central Committee, against on 7G, Struthers 4B, and Austintown 13.
I'm looking at 7G. It looks like, oh, there's one person with,
2 votes and 2 votes, and then there's 7 write-in votes that did not, they voted for someone else besides the 2 candidates.
all right, so do you have a quarter or anything?
Here, right here.
Okay, so we're gonna let the vice chair of the party call it.
Okay, what am I doing? Like, how am I doing this? Like, I'm
So,
gonna pick a name?
heads is Maltevo, what do you call it?
Okay, that's what I was gonna do. Heads are Maltevo, tails is Davis Jr.
You ready?
Mhm.
It is heads.
Tell them. Okay.
Do we have another tie?
We
Yep.
do.
Which is the
Struthers
other tie?
Struthers 4B. Heads will be Bass, B-A-S-S, and tails will be Robert Ford.
Here we go. It is heads.
Robert Ford? Yeah. That was quite a little campaign there.
Yeah. And then we have Austintown 13, it's tied 1-1.
Sandy,
Okay, Jaeger is heads.
you are doing an awesome
All right,
job.
all right, all right.
I don't care what
Anybody else
Annie
looking at what he's saying?
I don't care what Annie
No, I'm
Colucci,
not even looking at it.
I don't care
know.
what Annie Colucci's saying about you.
Jaeger is heads and Oliva is
Oliva.
tails. Oliva?
Ready?
Uh-huh.
It is heads.
Again, Jaeger.
Jaeger. We have all those done?
Yes. Yes.
All right.
I wanted to mention, we had this pulled up with the Secretary of State's office.
Yes,
Because
I
it
do know
says-
how it goes.
Can you announce who,
By the lot, we did that. What?
can you announce for the rings who got it, or rings, I don't know why I said rings. The toss, who?
And that coin did have a tail on it, right?
All of them were here.
So,
I got it right there.
I don't know what it said, ring toss, coin toss.
Yeah.
tails was Haiti Cruz Montaleva, and heads was
No,
Jake.
the other one.
On Tailville one, right?
Yes.
That was heads.
They were all heads.
Heads, Vass was heads, and Jaeger was heads,
Right.
okay? I'll take a motion now to make the results official. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Is there any discussion?
I wanted to explain why we flip a coin, because we
Go
get
ahead,
to, we
go
get to
ahead.
do, it says after canvassing all votes, more than the number of candidates to be nominated or elected to an office receive the largest or an equal number of votes. The chair of the Board of Elections, in the presence of the majority of the board members at the
That's me.
properly noticed public meeting of the board, must break the tie by lot. And they describe a lot to include, but not limited to, the chair flipping, to flip two, a coin,
I flipped.
drawing straws, picking a name written on paper out of a hat, or cutting cards. So we
I
chose
flipped.
to flip the coin.
That's the tradition of this board, started by, who?
Whoever's Secretary of State was years and years and years ago.
Okay. So I'll take a motion now to certify the official primary results. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second?
Sandra Barga makes a motion, seconded by Joyce Kelpesta. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, I'd ask the director to call the roll.
Ms. Besta?
Yes.
Attorney Peters?
Yes.
Ms. Barger?
Yes.
Mr. Aron?
Yes.
Now what, Tom?
Well, we set the recount date already, which is gonna be June 9th.
7.
June 7th. So we do the recount and the audit on the same day.
Okay,
Now we need, Joyce, we need to draw 8 to 10 polling locations for our audits.
I'll draw one.
so 8, so each draw 2.
Okay,
Draw 2,
Bridget
Joyce.
Pope Church,
you get understand?
that's Annie.
Yeah.
I don't use Annie, sorry. St. Paul the Apostle Church.
We're each gonna pick 2, Sandy.
Okay.
And I like Annie. Annie, I like you. I don't care what you say.
Says all good things.
I picked 4 Mile Run Christian Church and Salbona Valley Club.
I picked the Days Inn main entrance.
Figures
That's
you
why I
would.
cut off.
Figures, Sandy, you'd put the Days in family entrance. Really? That's what you're gonna do?
I didn't even know that was a polling location.
Yeah, well,
Let's
it
see,
is.
I shouldn't laugh.
Oh, they give us coffee, breakfast.
Oh, and I got another one, Holiday Inn Board.
Sandy.
Side door.
Sandy, you
Never
gotta pick
been in
2
a side
hotels.
door.
I'm beginning to question you, Sandy.
Okay, what do we got here? Springfield Fire Station.
He's
Number
gonna
2.
pick fire stations, Bob. Watch. I guarantee you he
Put
picks
the
another
fires
fire
in. Put
station.
the fires in.
Springfield 2?
And this one, Immaculate Heart of Mary Parish Center.
Can I ask what this is for?
So what we do now is, we hand count what we just picked
Right.
to verify what the machine counted. So the poll workers will pull those ballots, hand count them, and verify it against the machine count.
Okay, so each of you have 2 places to go to do that.
Well, we
So
have
we do it
8,
right
We're
here.
gonna have
Right.
8. We don't do it.
Oh, okay. But those places have been picked to do a paper audit?
Correct.
a
Okay,
hand count.
yes.
So they pull all those ballots out of the vault, and 1 Republican and 1 Democrat sit there, and 1 person counts the votes, and they call out what the vote is. And then we compare it to the machine vote.
And we should pick up 2 backups, because we picked some small polling locations. Can we do 9 and 10 just in case? It has to equal 5% of the total votes. And then the races we're counting, auditing will be the Democrat, governor and lieutenant governor race, the Republican U.S. Senator race, and then we need to pick a countywide race. And since there's no contested ones this time, we're gonna have to convert to, go over to the congressional race. So we have the option of kind of the Democrat congressional race or the Republican.
I say Republican.
Okay.
Does anyone disagree with me on the Republican? All right, pick one, Bon. You're gonna pick a fire station, go ahead. Sandy's gonna pick
Pick
another
another
hotel. You dirty person.
Poland Township Government Building.
You pick another hotel, I'm really gonna question you.
Yeah. Ellsworth Township Fire Station, now that's.
No, that was his.
Did you throw yours back in? No, you picked Springfield.
Yeah, Springfield
Okay,
too.
okay.
Yeah, it's in Springfield.
So we got Ellsworth
And that's
and
not a
what did you
lot
pick,
either,
Bob?
is it, Ellsworth?
No, we'll be good then.
Oh, I got the Poland Township Government Building.
All right, we good? We good, Tom?
Yep.
Yeah, well, Jen, we're good. And I think that's it for the agenda today.
All right. Anything from, what?
We did want to say that we wanted to compliment Ann Sims on her job with the absentees and the early vote. We think she's very, very organized and keeps track of seasonal staff and part-time staff, and she has to keep all those moving parts together.
And you're a rock star.
Yep.
And I can't say one Ann's without a rock star with saying the other Ann is a rock star.
Thank you.
Even though Sandy talks terribly.
I also got to sit with Ann and do provisionals and put it into the tracker myself, and she's an excellent teacher, so thank you, Ann.
Thank you.
Job well done.
The provisionals were really well organized this time.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were.
Thank you, Tom.
It
I
was-
just want to say that the Secretary of State should be lucky that we're so good.
I'll put that in my notes.
Well, please. You know, he visits all these other places, he never visits us, so.
I tell him all the time.
What?
I tell him all the time he needs to come back here.
All right.
No one
Is
else.
there anything else we need to do besides compliment
Yeah, we
Ann
got
and Ann?
Ann and the staff and.
And Annie and the staff? I'll take a motion to adjourn.
That's Bob.
My turn.
Oh my gosh.
You'll,
I'll second.
you got sued, you'll do that?
Oh, yes, you're picking today too. Huh?
And Bob, move for an adjournment, is there a second?
I think, yes.
Joyce.
I
Joyce
seconded.
did.
Joyce
He
did.
ignores me, but I did
Oh,
second.
whatever, Joyce. Joyce seconded it. Is there any questions on adjournment? Hearing none, please, Director, take the roll.
Ms. Besta?
Yes.
Attorney Beatrice?
Absolutely.
Ms. Barger?
Yes.
Mr. Huron?
Yes.
All right, we are adjourned. Thank you.